Welcome, guys. Welcome to Motivational Mondays. Welcome to Motivational Mondays, guys. How are you guys feeling? Hi, David. How are you? Today, we're going to talk about something very powerful: how to turn challenges into lessons and find the gift in every struggle. Girl, Dad, how are you? How are you feeling? Welcome to Motivational Mondays. This is what we're gonna call our Monday lives, Motivational Mondays. We're gonna talk about how to turn challenges into lessons and find the gift in every struggle. Hit that like button as you come in. Yes, girl, Dad, thank you. Before we dive in, let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from and one word that describes how your week is starting. So let me know, guys, how is your week starting? And if you're watching this video after the live, leave me a comment and let me know where you're watching me from and how is your week going. I'm doing well, thanks, Queen. Hope you're having a wonderful Monday. I'm having an amazing Monday. Very quiet as usual. Very peaceful. I rested a lot today. So we're gonna start by grounding ourselves. So I want you guys to do an exercise with me. Today on Motivational Mondays, we're gonna discuss how do we turn challenges into lessons and find the gift in every struggle. We're gonna start by grounding ourselves. So if you can, I want you to do this exercise with me. I want you to close your eyes if you're able to. Take a deep breath in. Hold your breath and slowly exhale. With each breath, let go of any stress, any tension you're carrying. I want you to inhale peace and exhale everything you no longer need. You can take a couple of breaths as you like. As you come in, thank you for liking the video. I really appreciate it. This is Motivational Mondays, and today we're gonna learn how to turn challenges into lessons and find the gift in every struggle. I want to share a quick story with you guys. There was a time in my life when things felt like they were falling apart. Nothing was going as planned. But looking back, that challenge was actually a blessing in disguise. It pushed me to grow, to trust the universe, and to see my own strength. And the story which is most visible to everyone watching me is when I decided to move from New York to Arizona. Nothing was going as planned. Everything was going left, as we say. So I lived in New York, had a business in New York, had property in New York. And about 2 years ago, everything was just going left. Every single thing was going left. And I decided to take a leap of faith and leave everything behind. I'm talking about leaving boyfriend, leaving family, leaving my business, leaving my properties, everything. I got up and left. I left everything. I moved to Arizona from New York, and I didn't know anyone here. I didn't know where I was coming. I didn't know this was a desert. I swear I didn't know. One day I just decided to Google where are the most beautiful sunsets, because I was tired. A lot of things was happening in my life. I'm telling you, nothing was going well in my life. Everything was going left. Everything. I'm talking about everything. The littlest thing that you can think of. Let's say making a burger. That was burning. Everything was, upside down. I was upset. I was very angry. I was. But I never gave up hope. I never lost faith. For some reason, I always held on to God. But I knew I was tired and I had to let go of all the things that were going on in my life. And I decided to move. I just moved. I left everything. I'm talking about I put my house up for sale and I just got up and left. I left my business with my employees. I just got up and left. I was tired. I was tired of everything. I said, this is not life. This cannot be it. It was desperation. It was anger. It was confusion. It was a lot going on in my life. And I took a leap of faith and I just moved to another state. Took my kids, took my cat, and left. Has this ever happened to you? Where a tough moment later turned into something meaningful? Share it in the chat or leave me a comment and let me know if this has ever happened to you. Here in Arizona, I went from being in struggle and fighting and obstacle and survival mode to a very peaceful, quiet environment where I got to know myself. I've been living here in Arizona for 1 year. And in this quiet space, I got to know myself. I got to build a connection with my inner self. And I came here very scared. I came here not knowing what to expect. I came here very sad because I loved the house I lived in. I already had a routine. But I left those things go, and God gave me bigger and better things. And most of all, a lot of peace. I am in a very peaceful, quiet state where I'm coming on live and sharing my experience with you guys now. I wasn't doing this in New York because I didn't have the mental capabilities of doing these things. I did not. I was in a constant worry, expecting the worst. Everything was going left, arguments, fights. I'm talking about everything was just upside down. And I went from total chaos, from being confused, from not knowing what is going on, to a very peaceful place. Unknowingly, because like I told you guys, I didn't know where I was coming. I didn't know where I was moving. I really didn't know. So if you guys are going through a lot of struggle, through a lot of challenges at this time, I want you to take some time to reflect. Maybe that's not the place for you. Maybe you need to get up and move. girl dad from Southern Cali, and your week is going great. I am so happy for you. Demba, hi, how are you? Nina, how are you? How are you feeling? So now let's talk about how do we reframe from challenges. When we face struggles, it's easy to ask, why is this happening to me? But what if we ask, what is this teaching me? Instead of asking yourself when you're going through a situation, why is this happening to me? I want you to ask yourself, what is this teaching me? How is this guiding me to my highest good? Here are 3 ways that we can reframe challenges. The first way of reframing a challenge is to shift your perspective. Look for the hidden lessons or redirections in the things that you're going through. The second is to practice gratitude. Even small blessings in hard times can shift your energy. And the third way to reframe your challenge is to trust divine timing. Sometimes delays or detours are protections or preparation. So let's talk about this for a minute. We just talked about 3 different ways that we can reframe challenges to change your perspective, right? Instead of, oh my God, my life is falling apart. I don't know what to do. My life sucks. I don't believe in anything. I don't know what to do. I want you to change that mindset. I want you to practice gratitude. Be grateful for the things that you do have. Focus on the things that are going well. And you might say to yourself, well, nothing is going well right now. Nothing is going well right now. Everything is upside down. What can I be grateful for? Be grateful for waking up this morning. This morning you woke up. You're able to see, hear, talk, use your hands. You're able to go to the bathroom by yourself. You have food. You have a place to sleep. Whatever it is that you have, the little bit that you have, be grateful for those things. And the other one is to trust divine timing. And I know this is like the hardest thing out of all those 3 because we can change our perspective. When we're going through a challenge, we can repeat affirmations, we can just say things, listen to upbeat music, we can, take a walk outside, maybe think differently and challenge our mind to think positive. We can do that. To be grateful, we can do that. We wake up, I'm so grateful for this and that, and right? And we're playing pretend. But to trust divine timing, I see a lot of people are struggling with this. Hi, Christopher. To trust divine timing. And what does this mean? I'm gonna see if I can find the correct ways to explain divine timing to you guys. Divine timing is, for example, when I was living in New York, everything was going left. I didn't know what was going on. I love my house. I love where I live. I had a nice car. I had a business, right? Everybody's dream. A girl that came and was born in the Dominican Republic, with parents that didn't have much, to have a house, a business, a nice car. It's a dream. It's like, oh my God, I made it, right? But then physical abundance, having things, material things, does not mean that you have peace, does not mean that you sleep well at night, does not mean that nothing is going on around you. I could have easily said, you know what, I don't trust God. Why is God doing this to me? I am a good person. Why is God doing this to me? I must be so unlucky. Maybe I'm cursed. Maybe. And we start thinking all these nonsense in our head, right? But everything happens for a reason, and everything happens in divine timing. I seriously believe that if I wasn't pressured and all these things weren't going on around me, I would have been very comfortable and I would have still been in New York. I wouldn't be doing lives. I would be still busy over there running a business, running from here to there. But God has a plan for everyone. And you need to trust that plan. I used to sit, like I told you in other videos, in my backyard, and I would take a chair and I would sit facing the sun, barefoot, every day with my little coffee, to have a little argument. I say argument because I was very upset. I really was. I will sit and I will say, I want answers. Why are all these things happening to me? I'm not a bad person. And no one is ever going to convince me that I'm a bad person. Because when people see that things are happening in your life, they say, oh, you see, you're paying for something. You must have did something wrong. People, humanity, for some reason, have in their mind that if something bad is happening to someone, is because they're cursed or something's happened or they're a bad person or they're from the devil or whatever it is. You see, you don't believe in God. This is why this is happening to you. And most of the people are happy that you're going through all these things. Hi, Damien Can. But I didn't think that. I know who I am. I know that I'm a good person. My question to God is why, if I'm a good person, what is it that I need to see? What is it that is going on? What do you want me to do? Because I don't like what's going on. You know, everything around me was just upside down. And I was like, why? I want answers. Why? And to tell you the truth, I was like total silence. I didn't have any thoughts. That little voice that's usually telling me things wasn't telling me anything. I was in total stillness and quiet. So when you're going through a lot of chaos in your life, it's so hard. I know it is because I went through. It's so hard to believe that there's a lesson or something you need to learn from that, and that you need to trust divine timing, and you just need to keep going one step forward at a time. It's very hard. Because when you're going through a lot of things, if you're losing your house, if you're losing, your job, if whatever it is, because a lot of extreme things happen in our lives to push us to change locations. Maybe you're not meant to be in the house. And whatever God is doing, it's not because he hates you. It's not because, he doesn't love you. It's because you need to change. He's not going to come down and tell you, hey, you need to change. You need to move. This is so nice. My phone is just kicked me out of the live, guys. Can you guys believe that? My phone just kicked me out. So whatever it is, it must be very important to whomever is listening. God is not gonna come down and shake you and say you need to move. That's not what's gonna happen. A lot of things are gonna happen so that you move. And they might be extreme. You might get kicked out. You might get foreclosed. You might lose your job and you're not able to pay where you're currently at. That's how it works. And you need to trust divine timing. Hi, Paul. Divine Sunshine, where have you been? So trusting divine timing, guys, from all the three ways of reframing your challenges, shifting your perspective, right? Stop thinking that, God doesn't love you and he forgotten you and that you must be cursed, and none of that is happening. Think, what is this teaching me? How is this guiding me for my highest good? That's how you should think. Practice gratitude. Be grateful for the things that you have. The little things that you have. Be grateful. And trust divine timing. Let God handle it, guys. Sit in stillness. I already told you guys, it's very hard to hear or know where to go or what to do when you're in total chaos. You're not able to think, you're not able to know what to do. I want you to remain calm in whatever situation, because I have a lot of people messaging me. They're going through a lot of things right now. And it's like a big shift, a big change. And I need you to change your perspective. I need you to change your mind of why these things are happening to you. Trust divine timing. Everything happens for a reason. I don't want you to be sad, angry, none of that. So are you ready to see struggles differently? I hope that you are. And if you're ready to see the struggles that you're going through differently, you can type it in the chat or let me know in the comments if you watch this video after the live. So let's make this a little more personal. What's one challenge you're facing right now? And what's one possible lesson it could be teaching you? If you want, you could type it in the chat. If not, just think about it. You don't have to type it in the chat. You can think about it. What's one challenge you're facing right now? And what's one possible lesson it could be teaching you? For me right now, one challenge that I'm facing right now is eating healthy. Eating healthy is a challenge. I literally just ate a plate of rice and eggs and avocados. Going to the gym every day, being consistent, it's a challenge for me. It's a challenge. Hi, YouTube citizen. You're a value to this world. Thank you so much. So think about that, guys. What is one challenge you're facing? And what do you think this is teaching you? Now, we're going to end this conversation with some affirmations to shift your energy. So I want you to repeat after me, guys. You guys ready? Repeat after me. I trust that every challenge carries a gift. I trust that every challenge carries a gift. I am open to learning and growing through life experiences. I am open to learning and growing through life experiences. I believe the universe always has my back. I believe the universe always has my back. These are 3 affirmations, guys, that you can repeat to yourself on a daily basis if you're facing challenges and struggles in your life. So how is a struggle or a challenge that you're going through right now, how can that possibly be a gift? Well, let's think about it. I was in New York in survival mode, ready to fight everybody. Everybody was just acting crazy around me. Everything was going left. my whole life was like upside down. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't understand what was going on. And the only sign, buenas tardes, bebé, how are you? The only sign that I got from God, the only response that I received when I was going through all this chaos in New York City was animals coming to me. I would see birds. When I used to sit in my backyard, barefoot, just sitting there, facing the sun. I remember in the evenings, I used to go sit there to meditate. And meditate just means to sit quietly. I used to sit on the floor, on the grass. And every time I would close my eyes and just sit in total stillness, because I did this every day for like a month. For a month, no, from January I did a 21-day fast in January. It was February, from February to June, right? Because in June I decided to move to Arizona. From February to June, I used to sit in my backyard. And every time I used to sit, I would close my eyes and sit in total stillness, no thought, no anything. Just sit there quietly. After a week of doing this, every time I opened my eyes, there was a cute, my son said it's a ground hug, I don't know. It was like a fat little thing, fat, big little animal. I don't know where he would come from. And he will stand like this, really fat and big. He will stand like this and just be staring at me. So imagine this, me in my backyard, right? Everything is greenery, beautiful. I love my backyard. I will sit there quietly to meditate every evening. And every evening when I close my eyes, I open my eyes and it will be standing like this, just looking at me. And I used to try not to move or breathe even, because I would just be looking at it like, what is that? You know, I used to ask my son, I think I took a picture of it or a video one time, and I asked my son, like, what is that? And you know, my son told me it was a ground hug. So the only confirmation that I got was animals. I think I posted a video also of how a little butterfly, you guys can look up the video, a little butterfly was like flying all over my body like this. One day I drove home, and as soon as I got out of the car, there was a little butterfly just flying all over me. And almost at the end of it, I'm like, oh my God, let me record this. I started recording when anything interesting with animals would happen, because I was having a lot of encounters with animals, and a lot of things was going on. So I started recording them. And I think I posted a video. I got to record when it was just like,
where's the drill?
ahí la cocina. When it was like dancing around me. So sometimes you're not gonna hear anything. The only thing I saw during my challenges when I was questioning God was my encounters with animals. Nothing else. There was a little fly that will be everywhere I went. Everywhere I went, I will see this fly. And it came to the point where I had to look it up, because I was like, what is this fly? And it's not possible. To the point, I'm telling you, everywhere I went. And it will make sure I saw it. One day I went to a graduation. There was a lady there talking to me, and the little fly was like on her. And as I was talking to her, I was looking at the fly like, you gotta be like, you gotta be kidding me. But you know, just to tell you guys that you're not, you know, you have to pay close attention so that you can see the signs and synchronicities. I also made a video about signs and synchronicities. You guys can go watch. Because your guidance is not gonna be loud. And how was all that a gift? I was in chaos, the business, this, that, dealing with a lot of toxic people. I was dealing with a lot of toxic people in New York. When I moved here to Arizona, my gift was peace and quiet. My gift was to get to know myself a little better, to understand the things that happen to me and who I really am. I took a deeper dive into knowing myself. So I see that as a gift. That was a gift to me. In the middle of the chaos, I would never imagine that I would be in another state, doing lives, and that I will have so much peace in my life. Never in a million years. So again, for those of you who joined me, the 3 affirmations are, oh, let's talk about reframing challenges. Let's repeat it. To reframe your challenges, shift your perspective, think differently, right? You're not cursed. God hasn't forgotten you. You're not a bad person. Shift your mindset as to why things are happening to you to a positive outlook, right? Practice gratitude. Be grateful for the things that you do have. Trust divine timing. Everything that happens is happening for a reason and it's happening for your greatest good. Now, the 3 affirmations to shift your energy are: I trust that every challenge carries a gift. I'm open to learning and growing through life experiences. I believe the universe always has my back. You can say those 3 affirmations every day, so write them down somewhere. So thank you all for being here, sharing your energies today. Remember, your challenges don't define you. They shape you into whom you're meant to be. If this message resonates with you, I want you to hit the like button, comment, share your biggest takeaway in the comments, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss next week's Motivational Monday. Until then, stay inspired and trust your journey. Love the way you structure your videos. You show persistence through all your life challenges. Thank you, YouTube citizen. Bebe Kumar, good morning. Evan, speechless. I'm okay watching you talking. Kane, how are you? You're very beautiful. Thank you. Evans, thanks for the message. You're welcome, guys. Guys, every Monday, I'm gonna do Motivational Mondays. And in the beginning of every live, I'm gonna give my message. And this is how we're gonna do it. So on Sundays, we're gonna do Reflecting Sundays, right? We're gonna reflect for the things that happen throughout the whole week or the weekend. On Monday, we're gonna do Motivational Mondays. Thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate you guys. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, guys. And let me know in the comments, what do you think? What is your take on all this that we were talking about today? Let me know how this has helped you. And also let me know what are some things you're struggling with. And how you thought of these things before you watched the video. And what do you think now that you watched the video? How are you rephrasing? Or how are you changing your perspective on your challenges? I hope this helps you. I will see you then. I'll be back on live, guys, maybe later on. It is 6 p.m. here in Arizona. Thank you for joining me. Big G, how are you? How are you feeling? I just did Motivational Mondays, Big G. I hope you can watch it. You can always, it's gonna be, it stays recorded. It probably takes some time to upload, but you're able to see it. I think this is very beneficial for a lot of people. A lot of people have been messaging me that they're going through a lot of challenges right now, and they're not sure what to do. Decisions. And most of the challenges is around moving. They feel uncomfortable where they live, and there's a lot happening so that they can move. And it resonates a lot with me because, a lot of things happen forcing me to just look at life differently and say, I don't want this anymore, and just move. And that's exactly what I did. And it was a gift. It was a gift. God took me out of a very stressful situation to a very peaceful environment where I'm meant to be. Anyways, guys, I'm getting off for here. I'll be back later on. Thank you for joining me. Bye.